6 months ago, my entire 5-acre farm burned to the ground, and now we're rebuilding it to its former glory. If you enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe. April's been pretty nice so far. We've got all of our land baled up into this trailer. We should have just over, I think maybe around 120, 130 bales sitting in there. That we got total off of this piece of land with our little square baler. Our greenhouses are doing good. Our chickens are doing good. And we need to get some of this land tilled up and planted before April ends here. So we got to get to going right away on our tractor. If you enjoy the 5-acre series, and make sure you do like and subscribe, we're going to get right on into it. We're going to hook up to the smallest little subsoiler we can be pulling. Oh, it's not even big enough for my wheelbase, brother. It fits in between my tires, dude. This is going to suck. This is going to take forever. I need to figure out where I want to do this. Right now, we've got the parking lot pad right here. We've got those temporarily placed. So I'm thinking eventually we could run the driveway right here and kind of down this stretch, and then have our buildings and everything off in here, and we'll have it more walkable and stuff, or big enough, you know, small enough for the little tractor. Then this little area, we can maybe try and cut it off for the bees or something. If I imagine we're putting a road in right through there and right up here and over, I mean, we could just turn this all into a field right now. Leave a little space right along the edge there. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's do it. Did I ever mention that we are $14,788 in the hole? No? Well, something tells me that that might just be a little bit important. Okay, I think I've got it marked where we want to go. Let's go ahead and start pulling forward. We did it. Woo! We are messing up immediately. Me on my 5th grade science fair project. All right, so we just need this thing to go nice and smooth, nice and hey, come on! You're disrespecting me here, buddy. Sorry, everyone. I don't have GPS. You know, I'm not the best at this. I thought we would get there, but we did not. I'll just keep going this way. I'm sure it'll be okay. Oh, see? We got it. We fixed it. Everything's fixed now. Call me. Dang it! Broke it again. Don't worry about me, fellas. I'm just getting the outline of my field because I ain't got much money. I can't do much. I don't know what else to do with right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? Did I go? Wait, hold on. Did that go over? Wait, did I mess it up? Oh no. Yes, I did mess it up. Oh Lord, look at me. Wait, was it right the whole time? I don't know what I did. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? It went over too far. Whoopsies. Got a little greedy. I didn't mean to get a little greedy, fellers. I'm sorry. Well, go straight, Jake. Just go straight. There you go. You're messing up again, buddy. Okay, you know what? We're not doing the hill. No. The hill stays grass. I'm just gonna draw around that little hill there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and snake it back this way again. Run it right by the house because I don't want to actually go all the way over to the house. Okay, that's a pretty good start. That's a good sized field. It'll make us maybe a little money. I don't know. It's I'm probably taking up too much land. So I think I'll leave some generous amount of land right along here and narrow this up quite a bit for a little ways. And then once we kind of get on the other side of it, then I'll sneak it back over just so we have that space. Then we'll try to run this down right along this angle right here. My friends, that is a very rough outline of our little 5-acre field. Well, I guess this field in particular is not 5 acres, but you get the idea. Now, as terrible as it may sound, I'm thinking one thing. This area but probably ought to be pretty darn fertile, you know, on account that there was a massive fire and everything got burned here just a few months back. I'm thinking that might just be in my favor, oddly enough. Just like that, we've got the boundary of our first ever field here done. We got to get it all filled in. And as we can see, if we want to plant corn, we have to do it next month. We have a little bit of time for soybeans. We want to plant oats, then we have to do it this month. So I don't really know what we're going to plant exactly. But if it is going to be something like oats, which would be very useful for us, well, we are going to have to hurry because the month is coming to an end. But I suppose I'm going to continue moving along here, ripping this all up. This is going to be a tedious job, just like every job on our 5-acre series. But hey, I'm enjoying it, and if you are too, make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll catch in with you guys once we made a little bit more progress here. There you go. We've got that entire piece all ready to go. Use this tiny little thing. Oh, I'll tell you what, that took long enough. Now we've got to decide what we're going to plant in there because we might need to fertilize it depending on what we plant. Really don't fancy sitting on that tractor any longer here today, but we're probably going to have to. So if we planted today, we could do oats, we could do corn, sunflower, soybean, potato, sugar beet, sugar cane, sorghum, grapes, olives, poplar, grass, and oilseed radish. Our chickens do take wheat, which we cannot currently plant, and our homemade water that we make in the garage does take oats, so we could plant those, but I think instead we'll plant soybeans in this field just because it's a really high dollar crop and we don't have a lot of land here, so we'll hopefully be able to get as much money as we can doing that. But in order to do so, we are going to need to acquire a planter, and having, well, negative $14,000 is going to make that a little difficult. We're also going to need to pay for seed. And again, having negative $14,000 is going to prove to make that just a little bit difficult. But we do happen to have the tractor supply card and a Casey's card. I think we'll go fuel up our tractor at Casey's and then supply our tractor at Tractor Supply. Eh? That's pretty bad. Well, just ordered ourselves some seed here at Tractor Supply. They don't really have anything for planters. I'm probably going to have to call up some friends, see if somebody will let me borrow a planter, maybe on a little IOU. But let's run right over here and get some diesel at least. Maybe I can use some of my points to get a pizza because I don't have anything else to eat at home. Alrighty, got that taken care of. I was on the phone while I was fueling up there. We've got a buddy who owns an auction yard just down the way. He said that he's got a planter that he thinks will work on the back of our tractor here, so we're gonna run out there and take a look at it. Great news, my friend's gonna sell us this planter for $6,600. It needs a little bit of work back here on the chains and stuff, but he said it should get us going. We're gonna take it back home, fiddle with some chains, maybe do a little oil and just get this thing as ready as I can. Then we'll get soybeans going in the ground come next month. I think soybeans are going to be the right call for us. They're just going to be so much more easy. Make sure our hydraulics are all in here. We're all good to go. So let's get this thing pulled right on back home. We'll get planting in the morning. By the way, I don't know if I remembered to mention, but the good news on this planter is $6,600, but it's an IOU. He's letting us pay that off once we make our money on this field. He's a good friend of ours and he understands that we're in a bit of a situation here. So he's helping us out a little bit, and it is going to make a world of a difference because hopefully we can plant some soybeans out here. And I don't know how much we're going to get, but maybe if we can get 10,000 liters or so at $600 per 1,000 liters, that's pretty good money. But it's only good money if we can plant it. So I got to get this planter going. Bad news is we don't have any seed to plant, so we're going to have to drive into town because I got to figure out where I left my darn truck at. I didn't leave it over here in the garage. I didn't leave it back here. Where is my truck? Don't worry, fellas. I found it. We got our truck here. We're just going to run into town real quick and we will get all the supplies we're going to need to plant that with soybeans. Well, like I said, I was going to run into town. I mean, keep in mind we live in town. It doesn't take very long. Hey, feller, I need you to supply me with your best tractor. And by tractor, I mean seed. And by supply, I mean give it to me on the credit card so I can pay it off a year later. Guys, I found a sale. Yeah, we got all this seed for $950. Pretty good deal, you ask me. Don't ask how I'm picking it up. I've been going to the gym. Working out's been feeling pretty good. You know what I mean? Side note, I really need to work out more. Maybe it'll make me feel taller in my truck. Okay, seed is all loaded up into the back of the truck. Let's get back home and get to planting. Intrusive thought. But I'm going to try it. Oh, almost, dude. We almost drifted around the turn. Okay, we made it back home. We're going to turn ourselves around without hitting our house. We are going to use the back of the truck to dump these bags on into the planter here. All right, step right on in, up, and we're going to start dumping bags right on in here. Woo! All right, we got it all done. Each one filled up. Now we just got to tip each lid down. And there we go. Got it all ready to plant. Well, at least I think so. We got to do a couple test strips here real quick. We should theoretically be ready to plant. I'm going to shut the truck off, hop into the tractor, fire it up, and let's get this thing going. Okay, so we are going to be planting some soybeans here, and we'll do a headlands first and as a little test patch. With soybeans, we don't have to be as picky about our rows. We can have a little bit of an easier time harvesting, especially on this little piece here. We've only got a very, very flat section up top. It's going to be nice and easy for us to work on. Okay, we're on a nice straight here. I'm going to make sure I get a consistent speed. Make sure the chains get to move at a consistent rate here through the section. Now, hop out and run back here with a little stick. We'll dig around in our little rows and count out, see how this is planting. Make sure the depths are good and everything else, and if they are, we'll continue moving. All right, just making a few little changes to these gears here. If you switch them over, you can change the speeds. I think we're gonna make a few adjustments. We've also got these on the what is that, the third notch? And I'm actually kind of liking it. I think that's going to be fine there. One of these rollers, I'm worried isn't rolling right. I think it was this one. Let's pick that up, and I want to see if that rolls. All right, so we got this picked up. I just got to grab on it right here, and let's see. Yeah, it's loose enough. It's not bad. So I'm going to let it be. Although I'll keep my eye on it here. Drop them back down in, and I think we're good to keep planting this little field. Good news with the soybeans, at least what I'm hoping with the soybeans, we won't really have to do too much fertilization for them. And if we do, well, it might end up being a problem, but we'll see. But I think we'll run soybeans out here. Try to get as much money out of that as we can. Let the soybeans do a good job getting nitrogen out here into the soil. Then we might come out here, do a little maybe alfalfa, maybe a hay crop or something completely different. I don't really know. Maybe we'll split it up into a few little fields. Really, that depends on how things go. So only time will tell, and we'll see where we go from here. But I'm going to continue doing our little headland passes around, and hopefully we can get all of this planted before the end of the day. We can get all this planted in April, then I'd say we're doing pretty darn good. We just got to find out how to make some money through the summer until autumn when we can harvest all this. But I don't know. Maybe planting this up here was the right move. Maybe it was a mistake. I guess time will tell. Why don't you guys comment down below what you think, and we'll see how it plays out in the long run for us here. I think it's gonna be okay. We are gonna have to find a way to get this stuff sprayed, and we're gonna have to find a way to harvest it. Oh boy. Might end up being a little more expensive than I thought. We might run soybeans a few years to get our money out of this. As we're passing the chickens, just want to make sure they got feed, and they do. Greenhouse might need some water. We'll stop in there in a second. And we do have the last few bales there we could maybe sell, or we could keep them for our own use. The problem is I don't really know how we're going to do that unless we go to Tractor Supply. We could put another thing on the credit card, though. The more we put on that credit card, the more we got to pay off in a year's time. We've already got a pretty good bill sitting on it right now, so I don't really think that's the idea. Oh, and by the way, for everyone that tells me that those are grass bales and not hay bales, I'm very well aware of that. I just don't like using a tedder, so I refuse to do that. So I call grass bales hay bales, because in my mind, we use the wind and sun in real life to dry out our rows. We don't tedder our rows, so that's the logic that I use. Yes, I know that they're technically grass bales in the game, but I'm calling them hay bales just because that's how we do it in our world in real life. You know, nothing more than personal preference. So looky there, we have got the field all planted, I think. Maybe just this little corner over here that I have missing. Other than that, the whole entire deal, it did not take near this much seed, but we've got seed left over for the future, and that means more money in our pocket, maybe? Either way, we can put our planter away for the planting season here, unless we get hired to maybe go do a little planting for somebody else, a little custom farming. That's not that bad. I'll look into it, see if I could get a few jobs of that. But for now, we're gonna park it along this fence line. Now we do have a problem. The city's coming after me about this fence. I told them that I was getting it replaced, and I clearly don't have the money to do it. And so they're telling me a fence needs to come down. So we might have to get this fence taken down, and I don't know if we can get it replaced. I don't have the money to do that, but we'll cross that when time comes. Now, let's just be happy that we got all of our soybeans planted and growing.